We're counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome into the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you. Hope everyone had a safe and happy 4th of July yesterday. Excited to be back talking Brewers baseball, taking on the Miami Marlins for game number 2 of the series in Miami. Chad Patrick on the bump, going up against Cal Quantrill of the Miami Marlins. Saturday, July 5th today, 3:10, the first pitch from Lone Depot Park. It is game number 89 of the season. Milwaukee Brewers looking to get another series victory with a win today in game 2 against Miami. First thing we do on every leadoff show, always the starting lineups.
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
We'll start with the Miami Marlins first for our lineups today. Xavier Edwards will lead things off. He's the second baseman. Jesus Sanchez, the right fielder, will bat second. Otto Lopez, the shortstop, bats third. Augustin Ramirez is the DH, batting fourth. Kyle Stowers in left field will bat fifth. Eric Wagaman, the first baseman, bats sixth. Liam Hicks is the catcher today. He will bat seventh. Dane Myers in center field bats eighth. Javier Sanoya will be the third baseman and batting ninth. Now, for the Milwaukee Brewers today, leading things off, it'll be Sal Frelick in right field. William Contreras will bat second and play catcher. Christian Yelich is the DH, batting third. Jackson Churio in the cleanup spot again. He is in center field. Bryce Terang at second base will bat fifth. Rhys Hoskins, the first baseman, bats sixth. Isaac Collins in left field will bat seventh today. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, batting eighth. Rounding things out, the shortstop today and batting ninth, that will be Joey Ortiz. Well, 4th of July, Independence Day. Hope everyone had a great time, ate some good food, maybe hung out with some friends, some family, whatever you were able to do. It was a great day for me. Got a little bit of sun you might be able to see. Excited. And the Brewers pick up a victory in the game, now 49-39 on the season. It was a very happy 4th of July here. But how about in Miami? How did the game go? If you were missing it, we go through it every day on the Rewind.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Quinn Priester on the bump against the former NL Cy Young winner Sandy Alcantara as the Milwaukee Brewers headed to Miami after a long weekend or week-in series with the New York Mets, in which they got in, I believe they said 3 o'clock in the morning to Miami to play. And the first inning, the Brewers struggled. 1-2-3 on the offensive side, then gave up a run on an Otto Lopez grounder. They were down 1-0 after the first inning. Brewers would answer back, however, but it would take a couple innings. Jake Bauers would ground out to lead off the third inning. Caleb Durbin picked up one of his hits in the contest yesterday as he would single. Joey Ortiz would walk on a balk call, then afterwards would move Ortiz and Durbin both into scoring position. Sal Frelick would hit a sacrifice fly to get the first run to come across. Then William Contreras, an RBI double.
Used to be my favorite baseball player, so that give you.
And there's a shot in the gap by Contreras. The Brewers going to take the lead on an RBI double by William Contreras. And they're getting Alcantara here in this third inning. You're bringing some good vibes to the broadcast, too. A couple of runs, some bullets. This is great.
Carlos Gomez in the booth on FanDuel Sports Network. That's where that sound comes from. Jeff Levering, Vinny Rotino on the call. Brewers would go up 2-1 after the top part of the third inning. In the bottom of the third, however, the Brewers, forgetting how to play defense, had a throwing error that should have gotten Xavier Edwards on first base. Unfortunately, then they would overthrow the third baseman. It actually was Jesus Sanchez running to first base. Xavier Edwards ends up scoring because of another throwing error. It was a very confusing play, very uncharacteristic of the Milwaukee Brewers at that too. They would end up being down tying the thing up 2-2. Caleb Durbin and Joey Ortiz, however, had different plans in the top of the fourth inning. Chourio would lead things off with a hit by pitch. Isaac Collins singles later on. Back-to-back hitters, it was Caleb Durbin and Joey Ortiz picking up RBIs on the play.
Durbin a flare, shallow center, tough play, and it'll fall, a base hit. Chourio trying to score, the throw goes to third. Collins is safe at third. Chourio able to score the run. And Durbin back to first base. Close play over at third. This is a huge call potentially over at third base. And 0-2 to Ortiz. Ground ball off of Alcantara. That'll get at least one more run home. Here comes the second run, and the Brewers break it open in this fourth inning.
2 RBIs for Caleb Durbin on the play. He now has 31 on the season. That is the third most of any rookie in the National League, behind 2 Miami Marlins, actually, Augustine Ramirez and Eric Wagaman, both 35 and 33 respectively. Now, it was not over by any means. Connor Norby would homer in the fourth inning, and Otto Lopez homered in the fifth. That was a solo shot and a 2-run shot after making it 5-2 with those 2 RBIs from Durbin and Ortiz. The Miami Marlins storm back, tie things up 5-5. Then Aaron Ashby would come in relief for Quinn Priester, and he had maybe the best day of anyone else here. Ashby, 2.1 innings of work. Perfect, by the way. No one reaching base during that time. 3 strikeouts. His season ERA now lowered to .93 on the year. Aaron Ashby out of the bullpen has been fantastic. In the 8th inning, Christian Yelich leads things off with a single, and Jackson Chourio gives the Crew back the lead.
That is a fair ball inside the bag. Yelich cutting the bags. He's going to come around and score as Chourio has an RBI double. The Brewers are in front.
Yes, an RBI double, 6-5 now. In the 9th inning, Trevor McGill comes in, and it was definitely dicey during this time. After Dane Myers would fly out, Liam Hicks had a rip to the third baseman. Caleb Durbin, outstretched glove, makes the play.
Pitch. And a line drive. Caught by Durbin at third. Leapt as high as he could, and Durbin brought it down.
What a play by Durbin right here, and positioned perfectly. This is a tremendous at-bat from Hicks. Lines one, and Durbin gets up and takes a hit away from him for the second out here in the 9th.
Second out, but then a single and a walk. 2 men were on. Otto Lopez was up at the plate. Trevor McGill able to strike him out. No runs in the inning. 6-5. The Milwaukee Brewers now up to 49 and 39 on the season. Aaron Ashby picked up the win in the contest. The loss would go to Miami's Cade Gibson. The save to Trevor McGill is his 19th on the year. It was his first win of the season for Aaron Ashby. He is today's MVP of the game.
Who is the MVP of the last game for the Crew? Who stood out the most? Let's find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Had to set him up nicely here. It is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM. The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you. Just read off Aaron Ashby's stat line, the MVP of yesterday's game. 2 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts, no walks during that contest. Aaron Ashby speaking to the media after the game. Here is the MVP after yesterday's performance.
Just like the stuff coming along for you, the more that you're building up your workload now.
Yeah, I think with anything, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. So happy with how the changeup's coming along. Slider. Everything feels good right now. The timing, being comfortable with runners on base, coming in those situations feels good.
It's sort of like a save situation in the fifth inning. Is that how you do you think about that at all?
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a safe situation in the fifth. There's definitely differences there. I trust our offense to, score runs. So it certainly doesn't feel. I've never had a ninth inning save, but I don't imagine it's the same that's coming in the fifth. But it's definitely important to keep those runs there. And it was a good game.
Can you share what you said to Jake as you were coming off the field there on that throw?
Yeah, I said I'm terribly sorry for throwing the ball at your shins. So it's can't happen. Obviously got the out. That's the important deal. But things like that don't need to be as stressful as that throw is. So definitely something to work on for sure.
And do you sense, like, as they put you in today, kind of a big spot in the game, that you're gaining trust, like they're gaining more and more trust, like it was last year where you were pitching in those huge late inning high leverage spots?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of the natural progression of things, and to be in games like that feels good. It feels good to have that trust and be the guy that's called on. So just got to keep working hard and keep earning that trust each time out. So, yeah.
There is Aaron Ashby speaking to the media after the game. That audio courtesy Todd Rosiak on Twitter. Ashby was phenomenal. As I said, his season ERA down to .93 on the year. The rest of his season stats look as so. So far this year, Aaron Ashby, 19 1/3 innings, 13 hits allowed, just 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 22 strikeouts in that time. Ashby, as you know, is going to be used as probably a late inning guy or early inning, long relief type role this season for the Milwaukee Brewers. Has he been all season? Yes. I do think there is an opportunity that Aaron Ashby, barring some injuries or anything else, could make some sort of start at some point this year, maybe in an opener type role like they did with DL Hall. But Aaron Ashby in his role thus far this season in 2025 has been fantastic and has looked great for the Milwaukee Brewers. Other people to note from the game yesterday, other performances, that is, William Contreras, 2 for 5 in the contest yesterday, a nice RBI double as well. Caleb Durbin went 2 for 3, a couple of stolen bases in that action. He spoke to the media after the game with Sophia Minnaert on FanDuel Sports Network. Here's Caleb Durbin after the 2 for 3 day.
Caleb, let's start with the approach against Sandy Alcantara. You got on twice against him, the stolen base as well. Just what did you guys want to do against the former Cy Young Award winner?
Yeah, obviously electric stuff. We know that coming in. Just making him be in the zone and not give him easy strikes. Be aggressive. And just stick to our game plan all day long.
Quinn Priester got you guys into the fifth, but what Aaron Ashby did, 2 1/3, a couple strikeouts in there for him. What did you see with his command of his stuff tonight?
Yeah, it really shut the door on them when they were kind of getting some momentum there, so that was huge. And it gave confidence for our lineup to get the lead back, knowing that he was going to go out there and bring it to them, and easy to feed off of a performance like that.
Trevor McGill gets you guys another save. You made a great defensive play there to go up and rob Liam Hicks. Take me through that read off of the bat.
Yeah, knew I was going to have to time up the jump. Pretty hard hit in the air, so we're just making sure that I timed it up well and jump as high as I could.
It was a late/early arrival here to Miami. You guys had to grind through it. Dirty uniform for you here today, but to come away with a win, Caleb, and start the series on a positive note after a tough series in New York.
Yeah, it's big. Part of it. Late game last night. Turn around, get in at 3 a.m. this morning, 4 a.m. and quick turnaround to big taking game one though. Good to get the first one out of the way and back at it tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Caleb, for the time.
Yeah, thanks, Sophia.
There is Caleb Durbin speaking to Sophia Minnaert and FanDuel Sports Network. That audio courtesy of, right now, Caleb Durbin over his last 19 games, batting .387 for the Crew, has 2 homers and 9 RBIs in that stretch. The .387 goes along with a .451 on base percentage, a .951 OPS on a 9-game hitting streak currently right now, in which he is batting .457 in the same stretch with a 1.071 OPS in those 9 games. How about the manager after yesterday's performance? Pat Murphy speaking to the media. Here he is after the 6-5 victory.
Well, he's got to be at the top. Ashby was tremendous. The fact that he can face both lefties and righties, you know what I mean? Some lefties they're lefty specialist types, you know. Ash can give you multiple innings, and he's got plus stuff. He gets himself beat when he doesn't field his position or doesn't hold runners or things like that. But he's got, we've seen it. He's got the ability, and I think that's the best role for him right now in his career.
How do you feel like the stuff is coming along for him as he just gets the volume of innings built?
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, his stuff, when he's in the pen like this, his stuff is, you know, you saw it, 97, 99, and it just makes everything better, you know. I don't know that it plays all the way at 99 the way it maybe somebody else is 99, but he's plenty, the fastball's plenty good, and the sinker's really, really good. When he's got that going, it makes it really, really tough, you know.
What did you make of Priester tonight?
Yeah, I don't think he was real sharp. He got beat on a cutter, got beat on another pitch that was just left out over. He doesn't usually give up homers, you know. What do you give up, 3?
Two.
Didn't they hit 3?
Lopez and Norby. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, he doesn't normally give up homers like that, but I don't think he was sharp. I think the error really bothered him. We work on it so much, and it's a weakness of his, but we work on it so much that, you know, I think that really got to him, affected him, because he knew he let the team down. He's such a great kid. He's such a great team guy. I can't get over the Marlins, man. They just, they're good, man. They play good. They're fundamental. They seem like they're hungry.
What do you think of the approach against Sandy?
I thought Sandy was. I look at those numbers and I'm like, this is a different version. That he's throwing the heck out of it. The changeup, slider, great sinker. I mean, we came out and had a few good swings, didn't get anything, and then Durbin and Ortiz got us started. Sal with a big sack, and Contreras' double. But after that, he seemed like he settled down. We had another good inning. We had a bloop single by Durbs, and Ortiz's ball off the leg. That's not Sandy's fault. He was making pitches. Ever since the 3rd inning, he wasn't touched. We didn't hit the ball. We might have hit one hard. We might have hit one hard hit ball. Collins' single. That was the only hard hit ball off him. After the first, after Durbin's base hit down the line, we didn't have many hard contacts. Then Contreras, so we probably had 3 or 4 hard contacts off him. I thought he was great. I thought their bullpen was great too.
What's going through your mind when it's bottom of the 9th, 1st and 2nd, 2 outs, autos coming up?
Well, I know, Mike. I know. I'm looking at the clock, and what time was it? I looked at the clock, and it was like 9:48, and I'm like, Milwaukee's an hour behind. When are my kids going to go to bed? So I got to be able to FaceTime them to go to bed. So that was one thing I was thinking. Another thing I was thinking of just how proud I am of McGill for just every big situation. He's just a great competitor, and keeps coming at you. Close call, whatever, it doesn't affect him. It's just he's been sensational. So I love it that guy competes the way he does at the end. Doesn't get enough credit. We've had such great closers, and Hader and Devin. This guy's kind of in his first half year of it being full time, and then he had it for, people don't remember this, but a huge part of last year, right? He had how many saves last year?
Well, at least 20 when Devin was working.
Yeah, so think about that. And this kid's underrated, so that's what I was thinking about. When my kids are going to go to sleep so I can FaceTime them, and then that. What else was I thinking about? Like all the things I was thinking about? I mean, I had a lot of things on my mind. A lot of things.
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media after the game on FanDuel Sports Network. That audio courtesy of Milwaukee, now 24-11 since May 25th. That is the second best record in all of the MLB, only behind Houston, who is 26 10. It is the Leadoff Show. Coming up on the other side of the break, we're going to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Get you guys some of the best bets for today's game. If you want to get any action, first pitch just about 50 minutes from now at the Miami Marlins Lone Depot Park. It is the Leadoff Show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
See you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, let me run down the Milwaukee Brewers lineup again for you guys here today. Sal Frelick going to lead things off. He'll play right field. William Contreras, the catcher, bats second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Jackson Chourio in center field bats fourth today. Bryce Terang, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Rhys Hoskins at first base bats sixth. Batting seventh, playing left field today, it'll be Isaac Collins. Caleb Durbin will bat eighth and play third base today. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop and batting ninth for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, he's over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook manager of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It is Austin Herdina joining the show. Austin, how are we doing today, my friend?
Pretty good. Had a good 4th of July. I was here at work. There was a lot of people here at the Sportsbook. It was a fun day.
Yeah, I know.
Did you have a good day?
I did have a great time. My sister's house, she did a great job hosting it yesterday. Had a fantastic time. But the hot dog, one hot dog short, 70 and a half hot dogs for Joey Chestnut, just missing on the 71 and a half line yesterday. Were you as devastated as I was?
You know what? Our line saw some movement. It actually went down to 70 and a half. So people that got it later pushed. And then I saw some places even went down to 69 and a half. So, but yeah, it was awesome just seeing the greatest athlete of our generation.
Yes, yeah.
Dominate the way he does.
Yeah,
it's incredible how better he is than the next person.
Right. I think the next one was 46. Like, he wasn't even close. It wasn't like over 25 hot dogs difference between Joey Chestnut and the second place. I don't even know if I've eaten 70 hot dogs in the last decade of my life, and he did that in the last 10 minutes. So kudos to him. Joey Chestnut, another mustard belt championship. And the Milwaukee Brewers come away with a victory yesterday, Austin. What a nice way to top off the 4th of July.
Yeah, we had a lot of people here cheering him on. It was fun. McGill, he let a couple guys on in the 9th there, but he ended up getting out of it. It was a big strikeout, I believe, to end the game.
Yeah, strikeout to end the game for McGill. 32 pitches. It definitely got a little dicey at the end. Austin Herdina joins the Leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Looking at the odds for today's game, Austin, Brewers favored again over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, -152 on the money line. The 1.5 run line has a +110 on Milwaukee, and the over-under set at 8.5. What are you looking at today for the most popular bets over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook to start a parlay for the people up?
All right, so I was looking at some streaks again, and the Miami Marlins have covered the run line 11 times in a row, which is pretty incredible. So Marlins +1.5 has to be my big bet today. If I'm adding stuff to it to get a same-game parlay and get some better odds on it, I like Otto Lopez to get a hit. I feel like he is really doing well right now. He's in the 3 spot today. And then Sal Frelick, he's almost batting 300 on the year now. He's leading off today, so he's going to get, you figure he's going to get at least 4, maybe even 5 appearances at the plate.
Sure.
Just looking for one hit from him. So put those two together with the Marlins +1.5, and you got +245 on your parlay.
+245. Sal Frelick now 19 straight games in the leadoff spot. He's batting .313 in that time as well. Austin Herdina has him in the parlay for the people today. It is the Marlins to cover the 1.5 run line, the Otto Lopez to get a hit, and Sal Frelick to get a hit. Pays +250 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, what's going on over at Potawatomi that people should know about? We got anything else in the works here? I just want to clarify, if UFC does have an event at the White House next year, you guys will still carry it at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
What else is going on over at Potawatomi that the people should know about?
Oh, man, you know what? One of my favorite things is NBA Summer League. I just love basketball, and why not place some bets on some basketball this afternoon? So today is the first day of the NBA Summer League. 4 games going on today. First one starting at 3:30. More games pretty much every day of the next few weeks. And then also just Wimbledon. We've had a good amount of people coming in and betting on Wimbledon, more tennis bets than we normally see. So if you like tennis, you want to play some bets on it, come on into Potawatomi Sportsbook.
The parlay again from Austin Herdina for today's game between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Miami Marlins. It is the Marlins to cover the 1.5 run line. Otto Lopez to get a hit, Sal Frelick to get a hit, pays +250 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed the day off yesterday. We'll talk again tomorrow. And, of course, go Brewers, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
There he is, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Does a fantastic job. Gave him the day off yesterday. Didn't miss like anything else. His parlay one last time. Marlins +1.5. Otto Lopez to get a hit and Sal Frelick to get a hit. Pays +250 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner, powered by Ironworkers Local 8. Apply today at IWL8.org and join the Brotherhood building Milwaukee's skyline. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Thanks again to Ironworkers Local 8 for being a part of the program. Before we get into any affiliated ball, a couple things to go back to on what's happening in the minor leagues. Daz Cameron did clear his waivers. He will be back an option to the Nashville Sounds. And the Milwaukee Brewers also signing their first ever Taiwanese prospects now here with the Crew. Over that time now, they have signed right-handed pitcher Changzu Chun Lee and Yu Lin Liao over in Taiwan. 17-year-old third baseman and a 18-year-old right-handed pitcher. 19-year-old right-handed pitcher. The Crew's first ever prospects from Taiwan now with the club. Let's get to some affiliated ball.
Nashville Sounds.
Nashville AAA yesterday. Tobias Myers struck out 8 batters, allowed just 2 hits over 6 scoreless innings as Nashville won 6-1 over the Memphis Redbirds. That is St. Louis's AAA affiliate. The game was Myers' third quality start in his last 4 outings, and has 2 hits surrendered, matched a season low with the Sounds. In 11 games now in AAA for Tobias Myers, he has a 2.93 ERA, 54 strikeouts, and 58 innings of work. Just 16 walks during that time. Also, Tyler Black, 1 for 4, had 2 RBIs in the contest. Memphis is back against the Sounds are back in Memphis for Game 5. Garrett Stallings on the bump going up against Quinn Matthews for the Memphis Redbirds.
Biloxi Shuckers.
Biloxi Shuckers win yesterday 10-4 in Pensacola versus Pensacola. We saw in there Xavier Warren 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. It was now has an RBI in 5 of his last 6 games. Warren has 48 RBIs on the season. That is the third most in the organization now this year. Mike Bovee was 1 for 4, 2 runs in yesterday's game. Tyson Harden will have the bump today for the Biloxi Shuckers as they take on the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. That is Miami's AA affiliate in game number 5 of 6 in the series.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Timber Rattlers back to a slow start to the second half. Now just 3-10 over the last 13 games to start the second half of the season. Yesterday, we saw Blake Burke go 2 for 3. He had a run, 2 walks in the contest. However, the Beloit Skycarp able to come out with the victory. Tanner Gillis is pitching today. He's 1-1 with a 1.89 ERA for the Timber Rattlers, and they are in Appleton versus the Beloit Skycarp now during this time. Luke Lashutka will be pitching for the Beloit Skycarp. That is Miami's High A affiliate, also located in Wisconsin, of course.
Carolina Mudcats.
Mudcats back in action, and Braylon Payne tied his career high with 3 RBIs yesterday and had a home run as part of a 2 for 4 day in the 5-2 win over the Fayetteville Woodpeckers. That is Houston's Low A affiliate. Since July 1st, Payne's now 5 for 12, 2 extra base hits, 4 RBIs in those 3 games. He was the first round selection last year for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's batting .259, has a .364 on base percentage, a .408 slugging in that time frame as well in his first 53 games between 2024 and 2025. Pitching today, it'll be Bryce Message, one of the top pitching prospects for the Milwaukee Brewers in the organization.
Arizona Complex League Brewers.
Complex League won yesterday over the Complex League White Sox. Dominican Summer League Blue team picks up a win over Cleveland. Dominican Summer League Gold team ends up falling to the Cleveland team as well. A couple teams in that time. They lost both games yesterday for the Dominican Summer League Gold. Just 1 game for Dominican Summer League Blue. Call-ups as well to be noted. Griffin Tobias is coming up from the Complex League and now going to be joining the Carolina Mudcats team that is now 10-3 in the second half, in first place in the North Division of the Carolina League. We also have Will Childers, who is getting called up from Biloxi. He will make his debut with the Nashville Sounds. Another right-handed pitcher. Both of those prospects right-handed pitchers, waiting to see what they might do in that time frame. League leaders, organizational leaders, that is. Batting average, you still have Marco Dingus at the top, batting .323. Blake Burke leads the team in hits currently. Brock Wilken has been out for some time, still has the most homers, but Eric Batanti continuing to rise, has 13 home runs now on the season. Jesus Made and Luis Pena keep going back and forth now for the most stolen bases. Made with another stolen base yesterday is now 36 on the year. Luis Pena 35 during the same time. On the pitching side of things, Melvin Hernandez in Carolina now has a 2.13 ERA, leads all of the organization. Tate Cooner has just passed up Jacob Mizorowski for strikeouts now. He has 81 on the season. Logan Henderson, Bjorn Johnson, and Tate Cooner, all with 7 wins, lead this organization as well. Bruce Zimmerman, the most innings currently, 78. This Building a Winner feature presented by Iron Workers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. It is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Milwaukee Brewers baseball before first pitch at 3:10 from Lone Depot Park in Miami. Right now, a couple of news and notes before we make our way over to Drew Wagner in just about 4 minutes here, powered by Focus Baseball. In his last 35 games now, Christian Yelich is batting .360, has 10 home runs in that stretch. The OPS at 1.052. We heard Sal Frelick over the 19 games at the leadoff position is up over .313 right now in his time. Joey Ortiz continuing to stay hot, picked up a hit again yesterday. 16 games now, Joey Ortiz is batting .305 during that stretch, has an .864 OPS. Isaac Collins looking to stay hot, has over his last 23 games batted .324 with 4 home runs with a 1,007 OPS. Abner Uribe came in, picked up his 24th hold on the season, a stat they kind of made up for the back-end reliever guys. He has 24 holds on the year. That is the most in Major League Baseball. Nick Mears didn't get any action yesterday, with Aaron Ashby having a phenomenal performance, a .72 whip that is among the best in the National League for relievers, 4th in all of Major League Baseball. And Grant Anderson has not surrendered an earned run in his last 10 outings now. That is 11 innings of work with 4 hits, 2 runs, but both of them are unearned, and 14 strikeouts in that time as well. Trevor McGill, 2nd in the National League after picking up his 19th save yesterday. The only man ahead of him, Robert Suarez of San Diego, with 24. Coming up, we're going to talk to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports and get him caught up and get us caught up on what's going to happen in today's ball game, react a little bit to yesterday's contest. It is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the Crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the Clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com. Ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up for Brewers and Marlins Game 2 from Miami. Before we get over to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup one more time for you guys here today. Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Jackson Churio in the cleanup spot again will play center field. Bryce Terang at second base will bat fifth. Rhys Hoskins, the first baseman, bats sixth. Isaac Collins in left field batting seventh today. Caleb Durbin, the third baseman, will bat eighth. And Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He will bat ninth today and play shortstop for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. Find his work at Forbes Sports and at The Fan Milwaukee. It is Drew Wagner joining the Leadoff Show here on the Gruber Law Office's guest hotline. Drew, how are we doing today, my friend, and how was the holiday yesterday?
We're doing all right. We will slow start to the day, as you can expect after celebrating our nation's 249th birthday. Very well hydrated last night at Summerfest. So good times were had by all.
Very nice. Who'd you go see at Summerfest yesterday, Drew?
Social Distortion, which is a huge leap for my usual genre of sad cowboy music. But Social D is just like, man, they're legends. When you get a band that's been around a long time and is older and like well past their prime, you expect like a fall off. But for those of you who know Social D, only through their music, like you hear it streaming or whatever, or have it on your iPod, like they sound exactly like they did when they cut those records. Some of them in the early '80s, like they are solid, man. They are solid.
Well, very nice. Social D, good job yesterday. You impressed Drew Wagner. It was a great night over at Summerfest, I'm sure, for the 4th of July and Independence Day. Drew Wagner now joining the Leadoff Show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And Drew, yesterday, 4th of July, looked even a little bit brighter as the Milwaukee Brewers able to take down the Miami Marlins in Game 1. The Crew fight back. They had a couple of moments where they fall down. They didn't get the best performance out of Quinn Priester and their starting pitcher, but able to battle back, Drew. And Aaron Ashby, I mean, what a performance from him. 2 1/3 perfect innings during that time, 3 strikeouts, has really been a very valuable piece as a long reliever type in this role. Do you see this being something that Aaron Ashby knew he was going to have to be comfortable with this year, or just a real team player? And, he probably wants to be a starting pitcher on this team, but he is continuing to be very, very productive out of the relief role right now with Pat Murphy's pitching staff.
Well, I think this is how we've all expected Ashby to be used since he finally came up and joined the team, because, the description that we heard for both him and DL Hall was leverage long relief. And we haven't seen them use that way. We've seen them used rather erratically, sporadically, in some odd situations. These are guys that you can use to eat a chunk of innings and give guys like Mears and Koenig a break, so you're not using them every time. It's no surprise to me that Aaron Ashby put together a good performance. He's been pretty good since he came up. But yesterday was the first time we kind of saw him in the role that we expected him to be in and the role that was described for him.
Do you think that that's a role that now Pat Murphy may be exposed to it will be more lenient and going to that maybe earlier in a game? Or do you think that it is more of a special occasion? Hey, when the starter doesn't have your best stuff, Aaron Ashby or DL Hall, for a matter, either one of those guys can bail out a starter who might not have the 5-inning stuff in them on any given day.
Well, that's what we were told they would be. So, hopefully that's how they use them moving forward, because I think that's how the bullpen lines up best. There's no point in having guys that give you multiple innings just sitting in the cooler, as Pat Murphy likes to say. It doesn't really do the team any good. Doesn't do the rest of the bullpen any good. So you would think that this is how they're going to be used moving forward. But we've seen some decisions that leave you scratching your head. So, that could change from day to day. You never know with the way they kind of run their relievers out there, but that's how it should work.
Drew Wagner joining the Leadoff Show. Follow him on Twitter @byAndrewWagner. A couple more questions just from yesterday. I want to talk about two bats in particular on the complete opposite ends of the lineup right now. Sal Frelick in the leadoff spot has been fantastic, has 19 straight games now he's been at the leadoff spot. Kind of weird to think it's been that many games, but he's looked so comfortable during that time, Drew. And, of course, Caleb Durbin, who continues to stay hot. He picks up 2 more hits yesterday, stole a couple of bases. How valuable is it to have guys that play very similar on the offensive side from opposite sides of the plate that are able to be at opposite ends of the lineup here? Because Sal Frelick, you wouldn't know it, but he looks just about as comfortable as he ever has been now, batting in a leadoff spot. And Caleb Durbin, ever since his lull to start the season, he has been a more than serviceable defensive third baseman, and now he continues to do it at the plate, Drew.
Well, more than serviceable is a bit of an understatement. I mean, he's got 7 defensive runs saved, which is, I believe, second best in the NL right now. Like, the guy has been really good at third base. And that kind of gets lost because he is just playing really good offense right now. And, putting those two guys 9-1, that helps you. It's like you're bringing up a second leadoff hitter there. You got 2 outs and you're coming up to the 9th spot. All right, well, you got to be really careful because it's basically like facing a leadoff hit. The guy is dangerous. He's going to get on base. And then you flip the order, and now you're setting yourself up for a crooked inning. So it really behooves the Brewers right now to have 2 guys so similar. And, again, batting from opposite sides of the plate kind of changes the way bullpen strategy works. It's working out really well for the offense. It's no secret that those 2 guys playing as well as they are, and the Brewers playing as well as they are.
Drew, let's get into today's contest. Chad Patrick on the bump for the Milwaukee Brewers has been really elevating his game on the strikeout side of things. Has had a lot more swing and miss stuff over his last few outings, but he has struggled in some capacities, where he had, I believe, 16 or 15 starts to the season in which he didn't have 3 or more earned runs. Well, he's got a little more tape on him, and the MLB has caught up to Chad Patrick a little bit. But with Brandon Woodruff coming up and expected to be the starter tomorrow, do they still have to clear a roster spot for Brandon Woodruff? And in that case, could you see it being Chad Patrick being the guy who, regardless of his performance today, just based on the arm availability, is the guy they make a move for with Brandon Woodruff expected to pitch tomorrow?
Yeah, it kind of looks that way because they will have to clear a spot for him. They got to put him on the active roster. You don't want to give up a bullpen arm for a starter. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So it seems kind of like the writing's on the wall, doesn't it? It's no knock on Patrick. He pitched very well. Yeah, he scuffled his last couple times out. That'll happen with young guys. But I think that's probably the move that makes the most sense.
And Chad Patrick going up today, Drew, what do you think do you see with an opportunity, if it was to be Chad Patrick is going to go down, is there going to be maybe a longer leash on him today? Do they want to have Patrick just eat up as many innings because of, if he won't be on this roster, you'd rather just use that arm out all the way you could, whether he might give up 4 runs in a contest, but you try to get him through 6 as long as the pitch count is low, just to save some arms in the time for the weeks to come?
No, I don't think they're going to do it. They're not going to hang him out there to dry. I think they're going to handle it like any other start. They're not going to do wrong by the kid. They don't want to blow his numbers up. They don't want to blow his arm up. They're not going to look at him as an expendable piece. I think they go out there and they treat it like they would any other start, regardless of what moves may or may not come tomorrow. Because, again, they're trying to win a game. They're trying to win the game, win tonight. I think they handle it like they would any other start.
Drew Wagner joining the Leadoff Show. Find his work at Forbes Sports. You can follow him on Twitter @byAndrewWagner. And one last question for you, Drew, just from some speculation, maybe just what you think could happen. We are seeing that the Milwaukee Brewers pitching staff is getting a lot healthier now with Nestor Cortez on rehab and had a very fine outing his first time out for Nashville. Brandon Woodruff expected to come back, make his first start in over 650 days for the Milwaukee Brewers. If they were to be in a contention series and around that trade deadline, you see some rumblings involving the Milwaukee Brewers. Do you think starting pitching would be something they would be willing to part ways with to try to bring in maybe a bat or a different arm or something along those lines because of how crowded it seems like the starting pitching staff is getting now here after Independence Day?
I mean, it depends. If Cordes comes up and shows something and there's some interest in him, maybe he gets moved. I don't know how much they're going to tap into that depth. Starting pitching, the Brewers have proven in the last 2 years that you can never have too much starting pitching.
Yeah.
You look at how many different guys they've had to burn through, and how many of those guys are young and under control. I think if Freddie gets moved, I think it comes during the offseason. I don't think they're going to, I think it would be smart to listen to offers for him right now. But I don't think they do it mid-season. Cortez is the one that I could see most likely getting dealt, but he's got to get on the mound before you can even have that conversation.
Understandable.
Maybe Tobias Myers, a far outside chance. But you look at the guys that they've got, Patrick, Priester, Henderson, Mizrowski, those are your future. I think that if Woodruff comes back and is healthy, I think there's a chance he's back next year. I just don't see them tapping into that depth way too much because really, what bat is out there that's really going to change this offense?
Yeah, I know. I completely agree. Yeah, Sparky's in on Suarez, and I don't like the fit. I'd rather just see Durbin try it out for the full season.
Yeah, you take Durbin out of there, and we just got done talking about how great he's been lately. And sure, he could go into a slump. Suarez could too,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better to dance with the one that brung him.
Drew Wagner joins the Leadoff Show again. Follow him on Twitter @byAndrewWagner, his work at Forbes Sports and at The Fan Milwaukee. Drew, thank you so much for jumping on today. We'll talk again tomorrow, my friend.
Yeah, man, sounds good.
There he is, Drew Wagner, joining the Leadoff Show on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. One more thing to get to before we get out of here for the day. It is keys to the game.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game is how we always wrap things up here on the Leadoff Show. And here's one that I would really like to see improve a little bit over this time right now. That is Rhys Hoskins. Hoskins was maybe one of the hottest bats for Milwaukee the first 2 months of the season, month and a half into the season. Was one of the more consistent pieces, and he has really slowed down over his time now here. Maybe one of the coldest hitters right now for the Milwaukee Brewers over a stretch. If you're going back to try to find Rhys Hoskins' numbers now here, in June, Rhys Hoskins batted 150, had a good performance in the Mets finale on July 2nd, but again hitless yesterday for the New York Mets. If you're looking to find his last home run, you got to go all the way back to June 22nd now for the Milwaukee Brewers. That was against the Minnesota Twins. He had just 3 in the month of June. He had 6 in May. Looking to see if Mr. Rhys Hoskins can step up a little bit for the Milwaukee Brewers. And also Chad Patrick, leave it all out there today, my friend, because I am of the belief that Chad Patrick will be down with the minor league club after Brandon Woodruff is activated, put on the active roster, expected to start for the first time in over 600 days for Woody. That's going to do it for us here on the Leadoff Show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again. We'll be back tomorrow as the Milwaukee Brewers will be wrapping things up with the Miami Marlins. It'll be Brandon Woodruff versus Edward Cabrera. Game starts at 12:40. We will be live here on The Fan at 11:30 if you want to hear the Leadoff Show again, 1 hour before every Milwaukee Brewers baseball first pitch. It is the Leadoff Show live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.